Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on how the Earth can supply at least 700 billion people with food without increasing arable land supplies nor vertical farming facilities. So how's this possible, you may ask? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. At this juncture, at this confluence of time and space, based on its current agricultural production capacity, the Earth is able to furnish at least 35 billion people with food without increasing arable land supplies nor vertical farming facilities. Lamentably, much of my dismay, much of my consternation, much of my chagrin, much of my agony, much of my distress, and much of my grief, at least 80 to 90% of all food products are relegated to the dumpster due to remaining unsold. Due to price floors, people, suppliers of food products, would rather pitch food products, they'd rather purge food products, they'd rather haul them to the dumpster than relinquish them at a discounted price or dispense them to customers for free. It is quite unfortunate, it is quite lamentable, it is quite tragic that this death by starvation crisis is so ubiquitous and prevalent throughout the world, especially when you consider that it is avertible and it can easily be preempted and it can easily be precluded. It can be rectified in an expeditious manner. But they'd rather pitch the food than relinquish it at a discounted price or dole it out to people for free. Each day, at least 25,000 people are victims of the death by starvation crisis, and each year at least 9,125,000 people are casualties of the death by starvation crisis. This is truly tragic. Food needs to be consumed in an expeditious manner. If not, it could become sullied, oxidized, and spoiled. People should be able to unconditionally receive food products for free, especially since agriculture is innately automated. For instance, fruit trees bear fruits without any human interference. Vegetables can be cultivated from arable land supplies without any human interference. The death by starvation crisis has unfortunately resulted in, presumably, billions of people throughout human history becoming decedents from unmitigated starvation of the organs and lethal chronic hunger-induced diseases. Additionally, about every 3.456 seconds, someone becomes another casualty of the death by starvation crisis. In this control market economy, there's no semblance of a safety net nor universal basic income, in spite of there being over 13,000 evisceration fees imposed by bureaucratic apparatuses. Individuals who have a monopoly on the food supply determine the prices of food products. Food, however, should be unconditionally available to everyone for free, irrespective of how wealthy they are. Food is not a luxury, it is not an amenity, it is a basic human need. It should be an inalienable human right to have unconditional access to food, because every species needs food to sustain themselves. And God and Jesus did not want human beings to succumb to starvation. They want us to eat. God rendered Earth replete with food. When someone has a monopoly on the food supply, they can determine whether or not people will survive based on their income levels. If food is being sold at cost-prohibitive prices, then people succumb to starvation. You never want to succumb to multi-organ failure. You never want to succumb to failure of any organ. Furthermore, you never want to succumb to a LISO, chronic hunger-induced disease, or any other type of perilous chronic disease. Your organs should be eminently nourished and eminently hydrated at all times. Do not shirk on doing so. Embrace health optimization measures to optimize your health. You want to be able to attain robust, vigorous, stellar, optimal health. You want to be able to manifest the quintessential version of yourself into reality. You want to be able to aggrandize, enrich, and augment every facet of your life. You want to be able to actualize your latent potential. Make salubrious, prudent dietary decisions. Do not make insalubrious, imprudent, gormless dietary decisions. Safeguard your health. Your health is sacrosanct, indispensable, precious, and invaluable. Do not allow your health to wane nor atrophy. You never want to succumb to ailing. So, in order to feed at least 700 billion people with food without increasing arable land supplies nor vertical farming facilities, everyone would need to embrace a vegan diet or a raw fruitarian diet. Ideally, people should consume foods subsumed under a heart-healthy, brain-healthy, kidney-healthy, anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, anti-glycation, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant-rich, nutrient-dense, alkaline, raw fruitarian diet. As I stated earlier, it takes 10 pounds of plant-based protein to produce 1 pound of animal-based protein. It is completely inefficacious and inimical to consume animal carcasses, animal byproducts, animal secretions, and synthetic, bastardized, artificial, man-made food products. So if everyone changed their dietary regimen by embracing a vegan diet, or alternatively a raw fruitarian diet, then the earth could feed at least 350 billion people. So how do we make the leap from the earth supplying food to 350 billion people to 700 billion people? Well, the next measure would entail people embracing fasting or intermittent fasting, in which they eat every other day in lieu of every day. If people were embracing fasting or intermittent fasting, there would no longer be morbid obesity. You always want to ensure that you have a healthy BMI of well above 18.5 at all times. And before you commence a fast, you should always ensure that your organs are eminently nourished and eminently hydrated. You should also take vegan supplements each and every day in order to optimize your nutrient levels and in order to avert nutrient deficiencies. You should also take heed of drinking distilled water to help maintain robust immune system health and in order to quench your thirst. You want to be able to eat foods that are replete with phytonutrients, macronutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants, and other salubrious compounds. You want your organs to function optimally. and never become dysfunctional nor impaired. So, to recapitulate, everyone would need to embrace a vegan diet, a raw fruitarian diet, and embrace eating every other day for the earth to be able to supply food to at least 700 billion people without amplifying arable land supplies nor vertical farming facilities. Hopefully, one day, food can be unconditionally available to everyone, irrespective of their income levels. Hopefully, the deaths by starvation crisis can be remedied and not prolonged. And hopefully there will be a universal basic guaranteed income so that everyone can be guaranteed their basic needs unconditionally. There's no basis for having a future if you cannot afford to buy food products. You need energy to be able to work and to sustain yourself. You need nutrients for all the organs in your vessel. I hope that you deemed this video to be insightful and enthralling. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.